Hey everyone! So I've been riding the Gyroor C1S electric scooter for about a month now, and I just wanted to give more of a review on it after I've been riding it quite often for the last month, and give you some more, detail on the scooter as someone who is using it who has a disability. So, first and foremost, it is a good little scooter. I don't use the second and third mode. I only use the first mode. First mode goes up to 20 kilometers per hour. Second mode goes up to 25 kilometers an hour. And the third mode goes up to 30 kilometers an hour. I don't like going fast, so I stay on the first mode. And first mode is great. It gets you where you want to go. It's got enough power to go up, small inclines, small hills, and it doesn't waste the battery when you're on mode 1. So that's the mode that I use pretty much to go everywhere. And like I said, it's a good little scooter. There are, however, some issues, and you can see them in this video. So in this first part of the video, I'm riding on, regular roads. Now, I live in Montreal, and if you're from Montreal, we have very crappy roads. So roads that, you can see in the video have cracks, potholes, bumps. Every winter, the ground heaves and then it settles again. So our roads are just really horrible. So if where you live, you have uneven roads that have conditions like you can see in my video, you can see from the video that it is a very bumpy ride. And because the Gyroor C1S doesn't have any shocks, it can get quite jarring. And so even with the extra padding from the tires and the really nice seat, like I love the seat on the Gyroor, it's a bumpy ride. And what I've noticed is after every ride that I go on, because the streets are so bad, like literally our off-road trails are better than the roads. So I've noticed after every ride, I have to take a tire pressure and then refill the tires because they have always gone down by at least 10 psi after a ride, which is not good. So, like I said, if you have really crappy roads like we do here, you may want to think of getting maybe a windhorse, what is it, a C3, the windhorse C3, because they have dual shock absorbers, and I would love to get a windhorse C3 and do a review on that one as someone with a disability and as someone who lives in a place with really crappy roads. Just because I would love to see the difference in the ride. From what I've heard, the ride is so much smoother. And the difference in price for the Gyroor and the windhorse, really, they're almost the same price if you find the Gyroor on sale. Otherwise, the Gyroor is more expensive, which is kind of weird because it's got less bells and whistles than the windhorse. Anyways, so you can see here in the video, I'm riding on a road that's recently been under construction. This was horrible. My arms were sore, my back was sore, my butt was sore. It just was not a pleasant ride. So again, if you have bad roads, I would not recommend getting the Gyroor C1S because it doesn't give on the road. The whole thing is one solid frame. The tires, when they're at full pressure, obviously you have to keep them at a decent pressure, or you can risk having a flat. So it's just it was not a pleasant ride. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that. The other thing is on the Gyroor, it's you can hear the brakes kind of rubbing a bit on the I don't know, what do you call it, on the drum, I guess, and that's annoying to me. It may not be annoying to other people, but it's just, I hate the noise when I'm riding. So that's another thing to consider if you're looking at getting the Gyroor. Now, if you don't have roads like the ones I have around my house, or, you know, in Montreal in general, if you have well paved roads, well kept trails, well kept bike paths, this thing is great. It runs really well. The power on it is excellent. I love it. Like I said, I'm not for speed. I'm for mobility. I'm for getting from point A to point B, getting some groceries, maybe taking some of the really well kept trails in the woods. This little thing performs great for that. So if that's something that you have, that you know, you don't have the crappy roads and you just want to get around, this is an amazing little scooter. I really do recommend it. You know, I wish our roads around here were way more well kept, because it would make the ride perfect. But unfortunately, you know, I have to work with what we have, and the roads just are not comfortable roads to be on with the Gyroor. But other than that, it's a great little scooter. I love it. The problem isn't the scooter, the problem is the roads, right? So you got to keep that in mind. My review is based on the driving conditions around where I live, and it's got nothing to do with the performance of the scooter. It's got to do with the roads. The one thing I would suggest to Gyroor is to put shocks front and rear on the scooter. And I also bought, it should arrive within the next week or so, I bought a steering dampener, and that is something that you can put on to stabilize the front wheel, which is good to do if you have really bumpy roads, because the 12-inch tires tend to wobble, especially if you have really like crappy roads. So I'm gonna put the dampener on, and when I do that, I will take a video of me putting the dampener on. Gyroor doesn't sell a specific dampener. I had to find one that I could fit onto the Gyroor, and I think I found one. So like I said, I'm gonna do a video on the install. If it works, I will let you know what kind it is, where I got it, and how much it is, and if it works to stabilize the front wheel more. I'm hoping it will. From what I've seen, it does help. So, we'll just have to see. Other than that, like I said, good little scooter, gets you where you want to go. It has good power, has good range, and it's not uncomfortable if you have good roads. So if you got good roads, you're good to go. If you got crappy roads, it's going to be a really bumpy ride. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my update on the Gyroor C1S. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you, and enjoy the rest of my ride.